clip from Bill Maher. It's like whenever Bill Maher says something that I agree with, or Joe Rogan, we have to talk about it. But here's Bill Maher.
To have a conspiracy to get rid of somebody as bad as Trump. It's a little bit of a thorny question because once you go down this road, this is sort of where we are in this country. The other side is so evil, anything is justified in preventing them from taking office. Is it?
No. You know what's not justified? Using armed violence to try to kill people in the Capitol. That's not justified.
Answer this
What about
question.
in the streets?
Huh?
Answer this question.
What is
was
the
it
question?
appropriate? The question is,
Was
was
the
it
press?
appropriate to bury the Hunter Biden?
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course. You don't
but
follow
I'm
this.
saying
You
know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Well, then you would know about this.
I do know about that.
Well, you're acting like you know.
I do know about that, and I do watch Fox. But the point is, we're going to prove now that
I like the people on the left. They're just like, I watch Fox, so I get both sides.
the press tried to.
They're admitting it.
The press is admitting it.
Yes, that's not even an issue anymore. They're saying, yes, we basically did this because we didn't want this to throw the election.
Yes. Times article had a whole piece called Fortifying the Election. But it's incredible what people tell themselves is true and not true. And they're willing to put the blinders on when it affects their party. And I see it on the same for conservatives and people on the right. But right now, it is so prevalent with people on the left. It is insane. The stuff that is in not only the laptop, but also the diary that was stolen, which I've never seen anyone getting, arrested over a stolen diary, but I digress. There's stuff in those two sources that should incriminate people, and yet we're pretending like they don't exist. And then not only that, we're trying to make the person who all roads lead to seem like a good guy and should run again for president in the next election. We're never going to see eye to eye. You can't see eye to eye with people like this. You need something to know. Sometimes in life, you're going to meet people that you cannot convince them. You can't have logical discussions with people. You can't come to an agreement. You can't learn from people like this. They're so set in their ways or so narcissistic or have too much cognitive dissonance. There's too many like dots that it could be that you can just not have a logical conversation with people like this because they're so entrenched in their own internal narrative in their mind that they will argue for the dumbest things. Like he was like, what's your question? Yeah, I'm waiting for your question. What's your question? I'm waiting for your question. Is that something that actually the media is really all saying is true? Oh, I watch Fox News. I didn't he's not listening to the question. He's not acknowledging, hey, maybe I messed up in this, or maybe I don't know this and something I could learn. But this is where we're at. It's just like, as long as you pick your guy who's on your team and you back him no matter what, even if he is one of the worst people on earth. It's just a matter of this whole tribalistic movement of it's my guy versus your guy, and I will say and do whatever it takes in order for my guy to win. It's so ridiculous, but this is how civil wars start. This is how fighting starts, violence starts, is people are so entrenched in their values that they will die for their person. It's a cult. Say otherwise.